What is a good job? How do you know when you're in a good job? Then, even more importantly, how do you get a good job? What are the jobs that you can ultimately find? My name is Jason Roberts, and I've been putting people into good jobs for 25 years as a recruiter. I can help you unravel this mystery. Stick with me. All right, before we get started, I need to ask you a big favor. YouTube really likes interaction. It likes it when you like or you comment. Please give me a like and a comment, ask questions. I'm happy to jump in and answer those questions and give you any personal coaching that you may need. Subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to see more of this. I'm doing videos on a regular basis, and I would love to let you know when those videos come out. All right, let's dive into this thing. So, what's a good job? Jobs are interesting. If you think about your job, I spend a lot of time with people at all levels. There are people in my house that are looking for good jobs right now. My wife is recently retired from her initial career. She raised our kids, and that was her initial career. And our girls are all grown and off in college and doing other things. And my daughter has asked me how to get a good job a lot. And then my wife now is moving into her second stage in her career where she's actually doing a corporate career. She's wanting to look for a good job. So we've spent a lot of time talking about this and what a good job is, both my wife and I together and with my kids. And I spend a bunch of time helping people get into good jobs as a recruiter. So let's talk about this a little bit. Job is important for two reasons. Companies pay you in two different ways. The ways that they pay you, number one, they pay you money. They pay you your compensation plan, and you get money, just a salary, maybe a bonus, but also some benefits, and that's important in the US especially. So you get your salary and your benefits, and that's your primary compensation. That's a job. A good job builds towards a career. So the second way that a company pays you is not in money. It's not in dollars and cents. It's in skills, capabilities, and the growth of a career. This is important because a good job builds on itself. So the first work that you do isn't the last job that you do. It builds from there and keeps going. A good job is a job that leads to a career, is the stepping stone to a career, or is enhancing your existing career. A bad job is a job that just pays you money and is not doing anything to build you and make you more marketable, make you into a better employee for that next step in the job that you want. The reason you want to build a career and you want to take steps higher and higher is because the amount of money that you make is directly proportional to the value that you add to an organization. If you have a lot of skills that you can bring to a place, you can add more value to an organization. When you can add more value to an organization, you get paid more. When you get paid more, then you can change your lifestyle. And those are the things that we oftentimes want to do. So, what is a good job? A good job is a job that pays you money. That's number one, and builds your career. It's that simple. It's that simple. So how do you find a good job? It's different than what you would think. There are ways to make every job a good job. And part of this is a mindset shift. So what you want to do is look at a place that you're going to take a job and say, is this what I want to do forever? Is my boss's job the job that I want? There's a 24-year-old guy that I know. He works part-time at my shop. I happen to have a little retail shop as a side hustle, and he works part-time, and he works in a Taekwondo studio. And he has in his mind, that's what he wants to do for a living. He wants to do Taekwondo. And I asked him something very simple. I said, hey, the master at your Taekwondo studio, does that guy have the life that you want? Is that where you want to go? Is that your end goal? Is that the house that you want? Is that the car that you want? Is that the family lifestyle? Or is he able to spend time with his family in the times that he wants to or not? Is that the ultimate career for you? If it's not, then I wouldn't do that work anymore. I would find something that compensates me in building my skills. And in his case, he said, yes, Master Lao is the guy's name. Master Lao has a good life. He has a life that this guy really envies and would like to have. So he says, yes, I would like to pursue a life like that. So I'd like to do that. You can do that in a normal career too. a normal career every day, you can see the people who are the managers, the CEOs. Is that the life that you want? You can even see in some of the YouTube ads that come across the guys that show up in their Lambo. What you're doing is you're saying, hey, I want to be the guy with the Lambo that shows up here. We all know that's probably fake. They rented that thing that day. And they spent their rent money for that month on renting this car for an hour so they could do a photo shoot to try to talk you into taking your money. So don't do that. The way that most people make money, the way that most people get good jobs is by working in a good company and building their career. You can, if you're very entrepreneurial, do it on your own, but it takes a whole different set of skills. If you're good at being on your own and self-starter, you should think about that. But otherwise, the way most people, the large majority of people in the world, or actually in the US and in Western civilized countries, the way the large majority of those people make a living is actually working for a company, working for someone else. So that's something you can do. So how do you find these good jobs? You can look at the job that you're in, decide if your manager, your district manager, the person that is up the food chain from you has the life that you want, and decide if that's where you want to go. If not, you can go and look for the places where that exists. Or are they doing the type of work that you want to do? That's the other big deal. I'm in a place in my life right now where I'm thinking about the type of work that I want to do. At one time, I was looking at buying a business, and this business was, I could make a good living in this business, but I was like, do I want to do that every day? I don't necessarily want to make pizzas every day, so I wouldn't buy a Little Caesars franchise, for example. That's not my ultimate aspiration. I don't think that would be very fun. Some people may think it's really fun. I might do a barbecue place, but that's a whole different story. That's a whole different conversation. It's one of the things I love. So, what do you love? What do you want to do every day? And how do you find a way to build a career that's doing that? Now, a good job is not the top job in the company. That's not where you start. You start in the bottom job in the company. My very first job while I was in college in a corporate environment, I literally was the mail boy. I've been the mail boy. Now, my job right now, I'm a senior vice president in a corporation. So I'm not the mail boy anymore. But I spent a long career building towards something that provided more value. Now, as the mail boy, I could provide value to the people around me. And the more value I provided them, the more I saved them time, went the extra mile. That's why the person who goes the extra mile does better, is because they're adding more value than people initially thought. It's about value addition. So how do you add more value? You serve more people. The more people you serve, the more value you create. And what that means is, can I help someone out in a project? Can I reach out to someone else in this other department? Can I serve more people? Believe it or not, good jobs are about serving others. Good jobs are about serving others. The reason they're about serving others is because you're adding more value to those other people. They could be other employees, they could be customers, they could be the owners of the business, whatever the case may be. Good jobs are about serving others, adding value, and gaining skills so that you can go up and move up. If you become very myopic and selfish in your work, you say, well, that's not my job, I don't do that job, then you're not taking the opportunity to add more value. The other thing that you're not taking the opportunity to do is to learn new skills, to add new capabilities. So when that happens, you're going to stay stagnant and your job stops being a good job at that point. So what is a good job? A good job is a job that pays you in both money and in skills and career growth. You need to be paid money and career growth, both things. How do you build skills? How do you expand in that? You add more value. The more value you add, the better you do. How do you add more value? You serve people. This sounds really weird. Like being a servant has always been one of those things that you might look down upon. You may not want to be a servant, but being a servant is really the way that you add value. It's the way that you make a good job. The best job in the world is serving other people. And it's serving in a weird way. It's going the extra mile, doing things that on the surface, it doesn't look like it's your job, but that's how you get recognized. Serving people, especially when it's outside of the norm. That's a good job. So what is a good job? How do you get one? That's it. You look for a job that you can build into a career. There's other videos that I have on how to search for a job, how to find jobs, the mechanics of those things. That method applies to this too. This is really a mindset. This is a mindset of which job to go after. A good job is about the decision on where you go and what job you go after. All right? Best of luck in your job search. I hope you find the best possible job. I hope your career explodes. I hope that you are able to grow and add value and serve people in a way that you've never been able to serve before. I believe that's possible for you. Good luck in your search.